G'day everyone, T-Nick back here again in Transport Fever, only it might not look very familiar. I'm just following Wilfred. Seriously, I've been recording 3 seconds and I can't even pronounce this guy's name. This is an entirely optional part of the game. I never had to click on this guy. I'm like, this will be a good way to start things off. I'll just follow this guy to Destination Shop. It's a little-known sequel to the Final Destination movies. And now he's at shop. Good for you, Wilfred. Oh, he's got his milk and he's going home again. Oh, to spend a day in your shoes, Wilfred, or Wilfried. Wilfried? Wilfried. Wilfried? Will cooked? Will poached? I don't know. Wilfried. And oh god, the streets just got suddenly very busy. How long were you in that shop for? This looks like a town in need of some public transportation, I think. Also, they have supermarkets in 1900, apparently. Good for them. I imagine that's probably a thing they did have. So we are in Rothenfels, which is a town on this wonderful map that hopefully I'll remember to link in the description. It's called the River Delta cropped, because I really don't trust my computer to run the experimental map sizes. So we're going to be running a non-experimental map size. But this is a custom map available on the workshop, and I've just loaded it up with a bunch of German town names because apparently it's funny watching me mispronounce town names. So, you know, that's going to be fun. That one probably not so bad. What's the one over here in the corner? Yep, that one I can probably do. Nope, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. These are probably going to be okay. That sounds like a supervillain, Zeretin. Nope, and Weeder, and that just sounds sexual. Okay, good for us, yes. And yeah, I'm not going near that one with a 10-foot pole. So this is a map I've been playing just by myself, and I thought maybe I should put this on the channel, seeing as I can't actually load my existing YouTube recorded game, because my computer grinds to a halt. We should probably hit the pause button so we're not paying interest on the loan and such forth. So what I've done is I've loaded this map up as a fresh load, and I've put in all the European stuff. I've turned off all the American mods just again because I think that might affect the loading time. So we're going to try and limit ourselves to either the base assets if we're missing something, you know, from the European side that I haven't downloaded yet, and some European trains, mostly German. I think that the sort of the German, Austrian, Swiss community on the workshop is quite strong. But one thing that appeals to me about this map is that it's not resource heavy. I mean, you've got a lot of vegetation, which admittedly is resource heavy, but it's got very few industries on it. I love this map for that reason alone. There are basically 2 of every primary industry and 2 of every non-primary industry. Tertiary industry? Non-primary industry. We have 2 of each. So that way we're not trying to put railway tracks literally everywhere. The other thing I like about this map is the scenery is just freaking gorgeous. I mean, look at this shit. Look at there's a river, there's like a mountain, there's another mountain, there's a factory in the distance somewhere, there's an oil well in the distance somewhere. It is just gorgeous. So, you know, I really want to do something with this. This may not get very far though, because every game I've started on this without the no costs mod, I have gone tits up very, very, very quickly, because as you can see, well, mountains expensive, hard to cross with trains. This is part of the reason I've gone European, because we can really lean into the electricity. Lean into the electrification, and we can run electrified lines that are scenic as buggery. Buggery is probably the wrong word, but scenic as all get out. Now, why am I sitting here in Rothenfels stalking Will Fried or Will Poached or whatever his name was as he goes to the shop and back? Well, as you can see, this is probably the best corner of the map to start in, because we've got a happy little farm down here. We've got a happy little food processing plant in Ochsenhausen. In addition to that, we've got a happy little quarry in Ochsenhausen and a happy little construction materials plant in Rothenfels. As well as that, we've got an oil well over here, an oil processing doodad thingy up here, not a refinery, a plastics factory, which of course can take grain from the farm, and we have an oil processing thingy over here in Brackenheim, as well as this handy dandy machine shop, which will obviously use the plastic that we generate down here. So we've really got it all down here. The only thing we're missing is planks to supply to this machine shop, because we've got our factory down here for the plastic as well. But we do have a forest here, and I'm fairly sure there's up in Halva, there's a sawmill. So I think if we start off in this corner of the map, and we build a couple of sort of trunk lines that follow the river just to stay in the valley, I don't know how we're going to get up here, don't ask. But that's a problem for part 10 or 30 or something, if we make it that far. I just thought maybe this would be a different way to get some transport fever on the channel. You can still watch me catastrophize a game, and hopefully it won't take literally half an hour to load the save game when I do want to sit down and play it. But now I think I've been waffling for about 10 minutes, so I should probably actually get down and build something. So obviously my first call is the farm to the food processing plant, because, well, that's just easy money. And of course we can use that same line to hook passengers up between Ochsenhausen and Rothenfels. Now, if we start the railway line up here, it's actually quite flat to get down to Rothenfels. I thought that was quite a ways uphill, because I was thinking we'd have a freight hub down here and we'd truck up to the various industries as required. That might still be what we have to do. We also have to figure out what side of the river we want to build our railway line down. Probably this side, because this is where the town is, and we're going to need a passenger station here somewhere. Which will be a dead end because, well, there's no way we're going to Stralsund because mountain range. So we'll be only going in one direction, which is Ochsenhausen. And if we do choose to go to Lindenfels, we'd probably come out of Ochsenhausen and maybe we'd come out of Halva, and yes, that's probably a bit better. I think that's the way I went up there in my own personal game. I built a railway line, and it sort of followed the mountains up here a bit, and then I just got the shits and went straight through the mountains. So it was really, really scenic to ride the train until it wasn't, when it was just boring. So what I'm thinking is we set up like a freight hub over here, and we hook these up with trucks, and that way we can have trucks delivering into town. And then we build a railway line, I'm going to say down this side of the river. What does it look like over here? Oh, this is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? No, hang on. If we bulldoze this bit of road, we could thread a railway line through there and extend the bridge over the top, perhaps. We will have to cross the river in Ochsenhausen, though. Okay. Let's just start putting stuff down, and we'll figure it out as we go. So, turn the contours on, because obviously contours equal important. We should have plenty of room to put a freight station down here. Freight station, yes, get it right. Now, this seems to be of sufficient length for nothing and nobody. Also, what's with the track? Have I standard tracks? Okay, the track looked a bit weird. Maybe I've put a mod on that changed the graphics. No, that's going to be annoying. I have to remember to turn that off, because I think these tracks, while they look pretty, are quite resource intensive. Now, I should write this down at some point, but let's just go with a nice, easy 200-meter freight station to start with. Yes, consistency. That's another theme of this game. We are going to be consistent as hell with our freight stations. I give it another, I say 10 minutes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be shipping is farm products. So that's livestock and food. The second thing we're going to ship, probably grain, although that will be running back empty, unless we can get stone on there as well. That we might be able to run it with freight both ways. So put a platform in for grain, and then what else are we going to want to be bringing down here? We'll probably bring slag down here eventually and take the construction materials out. But yeah, 2 platforms should be enough for now. We can always come back later and fix it. And by come back later and fix it, I mean, we're not going to fix it. Okay, so we've got our basic freight station down there. That's already burned a big chunk of our cash. I've paid most of the loan down just in case the waffling happened and, we paid loan interest. So, this is going to be a good start. Now we want a truck stop here, obviously to bring the goods in from the various factory thingies. We probably should have built this closer to here. Will that cost a lot of money? Let's see. What if we shoot? Yes. Okay. No, it's right on the hill. Autosave's kicking off. Yep. Notice how quick that was. Yeah. If we put it there, I mean, it's convenient to the brickworky thing. We don't need trucks, but how the bloody hell are we going to get a train in there? What if we put a dead end one in? No. See, no. That's the bulldozer tool. Don't go waving that around. No, we're better off with the trucks because otherwise we're just going to have to landscape the crap out of this. Unless we put it up here. Nope, nope, still a lot of landscaping over in yonder direction. And landscaping's expensive, so we're going to avoid that. Now, let's see. Railway line. Probably, I'm going to try this side. I'm going to see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Before we do that, we should do something we always forget to do, and that's build a suitable depot. Now, that's quite a lot up, so I don't really want to do that. No, that's quite a lot up as well. Okay, what if we make you flat? Yes, okay, just flatten it down, and maybe, yeah, nice and straight. Dump it there, that'll do. And now let's shoehorn a depot in there. Yes, good, okay. Dump. Yep, that's 68 grand. Well, we need a depot. Yes, these tracks are really pretty, but yeah, I get the feeling they're gonna make my computer groan. Well, we can't get a 50k turnout, but 49 will be fine. I don't really think the train will get up to that speed anyway. So, right, okay, keeping it flat, and we're trying to do as little landscaping as possible. So that's 46 grand, but if we stay close to the contour line, it's only 36 grand. So do that, and make sure to connect this up as well. Let's aim for 60 k's now. That's pretty realistic, yeah. Okay, good, we'll go with that. So, aiming to stick as close to that contour line as possible to make this as cheap as possible, and it's already going wrong. There's a lot of landscaping happening there. Oh dear, okay, no, just gentle, careful. Okay, well, we've reached our first obstacle. Some great big plonk has put a road down in the way. Good work, dickhead. So, are we going to stay on this side of the river? Probably, because we can put a station at this factory, which will also draw in this oil. Yes, okay, so we're going to have to do something about this. Yeah, you can fuss all you want, but it's not coming back anytime soon. Okay, so run this down here. Again, following the contour line as much as possible. And we'll put your level crossing in, because don't we just love a good level crossing? Okay, that looks okay. Please don't have janked up the track. There's a little bump there, but I think we can live with that. I think we're going to have to, because, you know, I don't really see any alternative. So run this down around here, and yeah, again, follow this contour line as tight as you can, just to avoid that very expensive landscape. Now, do we want to duck down a bit, or does the road actually go up? The road goes up a bit, so that's fine. So stick with our contour line, and now naff this bit of road off. Don't touch the bridge, though, because that's going to be expensive to put back. So if we run... Okay, good thing we bulldozed that road, because we're going to put a tunnel in instead. So what's that cost? 97 grand. The tunnel's actually cheaper. Okay. I mean, it's not attractive. It's not pretty, but it's okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Like, wouldn't you just knock the dirt into the water and hope for the best? But it's not ugly. I mean, I really want to get the smoothing tool out and really sort of that. I don't know what that noise was. That was a smoothing noise of terrain adjustment. Oh, God, what's happening to the landscape now? What have we done? Okay, gentle. This is expensive. I guess we are perched on the edge of a mountain, which is really well forested. You go, game. Okay, so we're going to sneak around here, again, following the contour line. I mean, this track really isn't that expensive to lay, so I think we're doing okay. And again, we can plumb this in later. Can we get through here? Oh, come on, you did it before. You let me put a tunnel in, you know, down there, and that was basically the same concept. What if we... Oh, here we go. No, we're getting somewhere. It's acknowledged that we want to build a railway line, at least. Yes. No. Okay. Fantastic. Congratulations. What if we did what we did before and knocked the road out? Will it be more accommodating then? Okay. Well, it'll let us build the railway line at least. Okay. Cool. Question: can we get a bridge over there? It's sort of like, I don't know what it wants. First of all, there's a hole in the universe. That's another dimension through there. That's an alternate reality in which we didn't do this. It's gone, hey, maybe we should put a level crossing in on a bridge. Literally none of that appeals to me. That's attractive. What if we go... Oh, here we go. Now we've made some progress. You still won't fit, though. Okay. That's definitely a thing we could do. Okay, so let's just not do that. Okay, why don't we back the railway line off? Because clearly that's the problem. Okay, back the railway line off and put it in again, except this time we're going to try and deepen the cutting. Just deepen it a little bit, because cuttings are expensive and I'm not made of money. What do I look like, Bill Gates? Okay, that's a bit better. It's gone for the bridge straight away this time. It's having a bit of a tizzy about the pillars and general collisioning. So, okay, off to a good start. Does this road actually go anywhere? Just to industry. Okay, so if we leave this road knocked out, it's not the worst thing in the world. That's going to knock the whole bridge down. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Why don't we try and get around on more of a angly thing? This is where all our money's going to go, in making this one thing look pretty. Okay, so keep that flat there. Yes, nice big cutting here. Yes, that's basically our budget exhausted now, just trying to fix... What'd you put a bridge there for? Fudgingtons. Okay, well, let's just adjust. We'll just adjust, and we'll try and force it to space the bridge a bit better with a bit of extra track here. Now try that again. Okay, what do you think of that? Well, you've definitely put more of a bridge in, which is an improvement. If we get rid of this track here, are you going to be more accommodating? You're going to be friendly? Yep. No, you now have a problem with this track. Okay, what if we do this? Yeah. That's the bulldozer. No, where's the tick button gone? There we go. Just accept it. It's as good as it's going to get. And waste money. Just, yeah. Okay. Well, can we get rid of this? That looks stupid. Oh, we've bulldozed the bridge now. In fact, look, you know what? I can't live like this. I can't. I just have to fix it. Now what's about it's not going to give me anything. Yes, way out of our budget, and we could probably have fit the railway line in right where we originally wanted to. So, congratulations us. Extend the loan. Just, can we cut this out in post? There's head shaking. No, we can't. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. It's cool. It's cool. The main thing is we've done some stuff. Okay, so you come... Oh, there's the landscaping bill again. Well, that's only $7,000 though. That looked like it'd be worse than it was. Okay, are we nearly there? We're nearly there at least. So we can you know, then waste more money on a train and actually get somewhere. Well, this bit's nice and cheap. I'm okay with that. Nice and cheap. That's my motto. It's also my nickname. Okay, so how are we going to build a station here? We're going to need to keep going over this way to get up into Plastic Town and Stone Town. Everything's a town according to me. And of course, we're obviously going to need to keep the line going up the river for passengers and probably food deliveries. So back that off there. So I'm thinking a station here maybe, because then we can bridge over it for when it naffs off over the river, and we can have a junction that can go up the river. And when we do the passengers, we can have a junction over here, I think. Maybe we should have built the railway line down this side. Is it too late to change sides? Probably. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and whack in a freight station and just see what that's going to... No, that looks stupid. Okay, so 200 meters, keeping it consist. Let's keep it down. What if we... Okay, so if we build a bit of road, just a cheeky bit of road down here like this, will that it definitely encourages the reach of the industry, but it also encourages a lot of landscaping. So I'm going to ignore the road and rebuild it like that, so that it hopefully gets the coverage of the food processing. It does, good, without the extraneous landscaping cost, which would be bad. Now, which side did we want to put our second track on? We want to put it on the right-hand side. Okay, so the main line needs to come in on the left. He says, knowing he's going to rebuild most of this at some point. Okay, so extend the loan once more, because we're already out of money again, aren't we ever? And then just whack in a set of points here, just for future needs, if we need them in the future, which is the very definition of future needs. So, that's our first railway line set up. Good. Now we're going to need a couple of trucks to bring the cattle down here, and obviously the food into Rothenfels, and the food from here into Ochsenhausen. Yes, so we still haven't bought a train yet either. So how much loan have we got? I think we can go up to $10,000, or is it 20? I don't know. We've got money in the bank. That's the important thing. So we're going to need a truck stop down here near the station. Try and keep it cheap and cheerful. No, that's more expensive. It was reasonably cheap over here. Ooh, can we get it to 20? Ooh, hello. No, it went up again. Oh, 19. Boom. Click. Yes. I am the master of my own destiny. Now, we're going to need to put in some sort of depot. I saw 13. 13's a good number. Do that. Take it. And now up here, obviously, we're going to need to put down a truck stop too. Now, you might be wondering, or you might have wondered, or you might have stopped wondering because you wondered earlier I didn't address it, and you were just like, well, I guess he's not going to address it. The reason I am playing in 1900 instead of 1850 is because, well, let's face it, it's a very slow start in 1850 and we're going to struggle to make money anyway, so I'd rather have some decent trucks and trains and things available to us from the get-go. So let's put a loading zone in town somewhere, just so I don't have to squeeze in an actual truck stop. Why don't we just whack it in down here? No, yeah, here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it did put the sign mostly on the footpath, which is good. And that's a very modern sign for 1900, considering she's wearing some sort of long flowing dress. And are those pirate hoop earrings? I don't know, I can't zoom in. And I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I'm just going to offend people. So it shows up as a bus stop, unfortunately, but, you know, needs must. So let's see, new line. Oh, no, we haven't set up the other end yet, you dingus. So let's go over to Ochsenhausen, yeah, that's what I said. And let's go ahead and whack down a truck stop in town somewhere. Somewhere we can catch both commerce and indust. Probably on this street. We're actually getting most of the town there, so that's going to be quite suitable. And then obviously we're going to need some sort of epic truck stop out here, which is going to be very expensive. Okay, this is a bit better. Let's go with 25 grand. I'm sure that's fine. And then obviously we'll need some sort of depot to serve that. Here we go. Ooh, this is getting cheap. Hello, 15 grand. Done. Good. Fantastic. Now we need to set some lines up. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3. There you go. You got there in the end. So you guys are the truck lines. Now, first thing we want to do is set up the train from Rothenfels sidings to Ochsenhausen sidings. And what a good game. It actually picked appropriate names for both of them. So we'll call this Freight Terminal. Actually, no, we'll call it Freight Sidings, so we can distinguish it from the truck stop. And Ochsenhausen sidings, we will also add the word freight to it as well, just so we can remember what everything is. And then when we demolish it and rebuild it with a different name, we'll have completely forgotten about it. Okay, so this will be. We'll call this something. No, get rid of line 1. We don't want line 1. So what is this? This is cattle and food from Roth to. Oh no, we'll capitalize that just for the eye catchiness of it. To Ochs. Yes. Or should we call it Ochsenhausen and. No, that doesn't really work. We'll call it Ochs. There we go. That's, at least we can't mistake it for Lindenfels, because the O and the C and the H. I mean, there's an S in Lindenfels, but the rest of it, completely distinct. So that's fine there. That's that happy little train there. We'll buy a train momentarily, you know, with our 400 grand. And apparently we did all this literally on the day of May 8th. So on May 7th, there was nothing. On May 8th, the residents of Ochsenhausen woke to find there was a brand new bridge here and was like, where did that come from? Apparently overnight, it happened. So yes, we need a new line from here into town, which we will call, apparently it goes to Mühlweg. Well, we're going to be renaming that because I'm going to have no idea what Mühlweg is. So this is, we'll just call it Ochsenhausen Deliveries. We should probably put deliveries at the front just so we can keep all the deliveries together. Deliveries, Ochsenhausen. Fantastic, good. Now, Mühlweg we'll call Ochsenhausen. God, it's like I speak German. Delivery point. Yes, that's a technical name for a delivery point. I'm not sure what else you'd call it. Truck stop, probably. But, you know, we'll go with delivery point. That's a thing that we've done. So you will do the same thing. You go to Bergstrasse, which I imagine is a street that burgers are found on. And this is Rothenfels. You forgot to write deliveries again, you plonker. Deliveries, Rothenfels. And then, obviously, Bergstrasse. We want to rename to Rothenfels. What did I call the other thing? Delivery point. There we go. It's even still up here. There we go. Good. Boom. Done. That's nice and consistent. Let's see how long that lasts. Yes, save the name before you close the window. Okay, so buying trucks is cheap, so we may as well get that out of the way first. And as you can see, we've got a bit of variety. So let's go with, we forgot to set up the line to bring the cows down here. Well, actually, we will just extend the deliveries. So, yes. Okay, so we'll rename you to Cattle Food Rothenfels. There we go. And of course, we'll just start again here. So first of all, you're going to come up here and go to Rothenfels Exchange, which will need to be renamed. Drop the cattle off there, pick up food, take it into town, and then just rinse and repeat. We might split that into 2 separate truck routes later, but at the moment, while money is tweet like a twigger, we will just have to deal. We'll make our own fun. So we've got 4 of these. We're sending them out on Cattle Food Rothenfels. Okay, so next, that set us back nearly 100 grand. That's good. That's money well spent. So we need another couple up here. We'll just buy 2 for now. And you guys are going on Ochsenhausen deliveries, or deliveries Ochsenhausen, because I can't make up my mind how I want it to be. Now, with 200 grand, we are going to buy the train of the century. What will that buy us? Okay, that's American, and it's 317. That does not bode well for us. Let's look at the European option. The cheapest European option, 220 grand. Fantastic. What about the Prussian G3? That looks like a goer. 388 grand. Excellent. That's exactly what we need, because it's top speed of 50, 60 tractive effort. It's not like we're going up or down any hills at the moment. And it costs 64 grand a year, as opposed to some of the more expensive things I've downloaded, like these Austrian numbers, which cost 300 odd grand a year. So the Prussian G3, even though it's not the most latest and greatest of things, I think that's where we start, because we're being frugal, and we're already 1.7 million in the hole. So borrow 500 grand, buy me an engine. Boom, I have an engine. Now that's completely worthless on the face of it. We need some sort of freight wagons to haul. So we need goods wagons. Yes, top speed of 80. Well, we're not going to get anywhere near that, are we? Yes, so let's go ahead and buy 1, 2, and that's all our money. Let's just cheeky borrow again. 3, 4, 5, 6. No, yeah, 6. We can buy 6. Okay, cheeky borrow. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, probably shouldn't push the friendship any more than that. And that's 90 meters, so we can effectively double this train before we have to put a second train in passing loops. Although we'll probably put a second train in to haul grain and stone at some point. So that's fine. That's the logo. The logo? That's the bank loan. That was some excited clicking. The bank loan has now been extended to 3.5. Let's just, while we're paused, let's just see how high we can go. Well, that just makes me feel things. I mean, the idea of having 26.6 million to spend on trains makes me want to not be very frugal at all. But no, I really think the interest would kill us, considering at the moment we're making literally no profit. So we're 70 grand in the bank for running costs. We're going to send you on Cattle Food Rochtochs. That's going to be fun to say. And of course, we need to rename this truck stop. Yes, we'll need to rename you to Rothenfels Farming Co-op. There we go. Otherwise, because that's Rothenfels Farm, we'd get confused. So let's hit the play button and race over to our depot for the ceremonial launching of train number 1, our first train that we've built in this save game, because the last one was overwhelmed by loading time. And that's a lot of smoke. I think I forgot to load the smoke reduction mod. That's something I'll have to load next time, because, yeah, again, resource heavy. Oh, it's getting away. Come back, come back. Let's just follow it. That's a very attractive piece of train too. It also occurs to me that we really should have started the trucks off sort of a little bit before we started the train, so that by the time they got up to the farm there might be some cattle there, and then the train could pick the cattle up when it gets to the station. So the flying start here, it's all just going absolutely swimmingly. So you are now going to commit to a journey completely empty. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't bear you any ill will. You're just doing whatever it is you're doing. Now we need to wonder, how are we going to use this line for passengers? Are we just going to put a passenger station over here and bus everyone in and out of town? I mean, that's a cheap option, and it would mitigate the need to put a bridge in over here. Or do we build a second railway line up this side? I mean, as we saw, the actual track itself, not very expensive. We were looking at 20 grand a section, whereas a bridge would cost us, what's the cheapest bridge too? 350 grand. So the most expensive bridge would be 510 grand. So 510, geez, at 25 grand a go, I reckon we could get most of the way just for the cost of one bridge. So we might end up having a separate line for passengers on the other side. I mean, I'd really like to use the one main line, but God, that bridge is not cheap, is it? Maybe we do just have the passenger station on this side of town and bus everyone out to it, because it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I mean, let's just price it out now. Why don't we just price it out? Just have a bit of a look. Okay, just have a bit of a go. Yes, look, it even catches these two houses here. Isn't that wonderful? So that's about 100 and something grand. All right, well, that's not too bad. 150 odd grand. I think that's a goer. I think we build the passenger station here and just bus everyone out to it, and that way we can use the same railway line. And then when we get to Rothenfels, we're obviously going to have the station in town, because we're going to be heading down to Stralsund, as well as heading up to Halver. So, having a junction over here wouldn't really fit the station in to begin with, and then we'd just have to faff around. But then we're only building one bridge instead of two, and we're not duplicating the railway line, because from a scenic point of view, I mean, I'm not hating this tunnel at the moment. This tunnel looks kind of cool. From a scenic point of view, we've got the one railway line winding its way up the river. Eventually, it'll be a double track, obviously. But, how are you going, friend? You're making your way along the river? I mean, this is just a very scenic map. And I think this is just absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to see how long we can get this save game before the computer groans and buckles under its own weight. But I got high hopes for it, because we will have less trains, we'll have longer trains, and because we've got less industries, we're just going to have less stuff going on, but yet we'll always be building and tweaking stuff, because we're not going to be making money as easily as in the last game. So I still think we're going to be able to stay entertained without overloading the map with 500 road vehicles, 102 trains, all that stuff. And plus, the terrain really makes... I mean, boats are slow, but that is a viable shipping route, because it's just as direct as the way we'd have to build the railway line, only ships are a lot cheaper because you don't have to build the infrastructure. I mean, obviously this is a bad example because we've already built the railway line, but for example, when we want to feel out maybe the steel mill down here, we could ship coal from here and iron ore from here down to the river, and then use boats to get it to the actual steel mill. And another thing we can do is planes. We never got around to it in the last game, but this map screams for them, because from Rothenfels to Stralsund, we'll obviously have the train up here and back down here again. Very doable. However, the people that want to travel the most direct route are going to be like, oh, what do you mean I'm going to go up there and back down again? This can take like a year. When we can have an airport set up here and an airport set up here and a loss-making plane flying between them. That's probably a bad example. Maybe a better example would be to get from Stralsund to Collida, or even better, Brackenheim to Collida. Because there is no way I'm building a train from here to here. Like, just look at the height of the everything. I can't even see the top of the mountain from this view. It's just literally miles. So, it's not like we can build a bridge even from the lowest point and then get up there. I mean, we could build a road down here and have a ferry wharf if we really wanted to. But if you're going to go to all that expense, and plus, I mean, that's still quite a steep hill for a road to ascend. Like, let's be honest, that's tiny street, small country road. So even then, you're still looking at a mighty ass tunnel, which is $10 million. You could obviously build it so it winds its way down, but it just eats into the potential profit. So a plane from Brackenheim to Collida would be the most viable option and probably the best chance of making a profit. So I reckon it's worth a go. I reckon we're looking at planes, and I'll probably have to jump on the workshop and actually download some. But For now, I want to focus on this section here, the Ochsenhausen to Rothenfels. I want to try and move our cattle. I want to try and move our grain. I want to try and move our stone from down here, using as few trains as possible. So if we can get the stone, we might have to run the grain train through town over here because that's a long way for a truck to handle. But even then, even if we're just running the grain up here to turn it into food and the stone is a bonus to stop it running back empty, who knows? But then again, if we ran the grain train up here, we could truck the grain up there a lot easier. So something to think about. But what I'm saying is I want to make the most of the trains we've got so they're running loaded in both directions. Obviously, I want to try and make something out of this, and we can do that with plastic and planks, which we'd have to get up here. Planks are probably going to be the hardest thing to get to this factory. But then once we've got the factory online, we can supply these towns with goods, and we're in the red. Okay, congratulations, us. I kind of want this train to make a complete trip, just so we can just be vindicated by watching it pull into the platform and be like, hey, look, guys, I made it. I am the king of the world. Oh my God, it's miles away. Would you hurry up? Well, at least it's doing 50 k's an hour. It's doing track speed. So, that's something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap things up here because I think I've waffled on enough and we've covered a fair bit for this episode. And by a fair bit, I mean we've set up literally the most basic route that any Transport Fever player could do in their sleep. Cattle to food and food to town. But if that's where we're going to make our money, then that's where we're going to make our money. So I'm going to wrap things up here by watching our brand new train pull into our brand new station that, again, we built overnight on August the 8th. Or May the 8th. I don't know, it was the 8th of something. But that's going to take us out for today. Until next time, I've been T-Nick. This has been Transport Fever on the River Delta map. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Later days. Really, really need that smoke reduction mod to be loaded. That is just, the computer is just not going to put up with it.